Happy Monday. Here we are again. And if you notice, we took a little break last week to let my team enjoy the long holiday weekend off. And now we are back. And so now this week, what is motivating me? Hmm. The question of trust. Now, does that mean trust in others or trust in ourselves, or maybe a little bit of both? Let me tell you why I'm bringing this up. In the last few weeks, I feel like I have been working so intently to take both of my companies to next levels. And that means lots of long hours, lots of visioning exercises, a lot of excitement. But I was finding that there were some areas of my business that I was not moving in the same level or speed that I wanted to. And really, frankly, it had to do with some concerns I had about where my team was or various members of my team in this process. Now, what did I do about it? Well, when you are working on something so hard and you look around and you feel like other people around you may not have that same passion or drive or be giving it that same level of energy that you have, it's easy to get frustrated and say, "Ugh, what's wrong? Why are my people, especially why are my team not giving this everything I am?" And in that moment, you can stop and say, well, they're disappointing me. I'm losing, trust in what they're doing. Or you can flip the mirror around a little bit and look at it and say, hmm, are they not giving me what I expect of them, or have I not been clear about what I expect and what I'm looking for, as well as what the vision is for both of these companies? So, as I sat back and reflected, I decided to do something, which is why I'm actually sharing this video with you right now is I made a video for my team and I decided to spend some time giving them a little bit more history about why I started Shock Your Potential and why we started Kukwa Biz and where my long-term goals are and what the big vision is for 2021 now that we have, realigned and readapted to everything that happened in 2020. And I realized that although I'd been working with individuals on their portion of the business, their portion of the big picture, I had not given my team the entire big picture once to get all together. So I did that in the video and I said, here's where we're going, but here's where I'm concerned. I feel like maybe not everybody's in this all the way. Some I know are really working incredibly hard, some so so, some maybe I'm not sure. And so I want you guys to take some time to reflect about whether or not you guys are all in, because I know I'm in, but I want to know whether or not you're truly in. Now, what I found with this is, I mean, there's some challenges here. I mean, I kind of freaked everybody out, not gonna lie. They were like, does this mean we're all fired? No. But it does mean that we are going to start to talk about trust and well as output. And we're going to talk about it much more clearly and openly. And that was my fault for not doing that, as well as not giving the bigger picture. But what I also realized too is in my expectations of people, if I have expectations of others, but they only exist in my mind, in other words, I'm not putting them down on timelines, I'm not being clear about deliverables, then how can I expect people to read my mind? I can't. That's just not something I should expect. So, what I learned through the process after I shared with them where I was, and then they shared with me how they thought and felt and reacted to my message, we had a new level of awareness. And thus, we build more trust. So, one of the things that I said is it's time for me not only to continue to dive deeper in where we're going with each of you guys, so you see where that part of that puzzle, you fit into, but I'm going to be much more clear in terms of here's what we need by these dates. This is how we get there. Not just make it happen for me as a team, but let me guide you. Let me help you. When you get stuck, let me be your sounding board as well. Now, why am I talking about this today? Because part of this kind of new accountability, this trust, is also me sharing with those of you who follow us and reminding us that trust is a matter of perspective in some case, but it's always a matter of communication about how clear we are with ourselves, how clear we are with others, and then how we continue to move forward in areas where trust is incredibly vital. Now, this is just as important on a personal nature as it is in a professional nature. But in a personal nature with our businesses, it's so vital that we realize that we play a role when our teams aren't delivering to our expectations. And in many cases, that may be because we haven't been clear in our communication of exactly what that means. So when we can do that, we can step back, we can start fresh. When my son was young, we had challenges like any parent and child, and there would be times when we would have arguments that were pretty intense. And I remember one time he said to me, we he was really mad. He's like, "Mom, I'm so mad at you." And I remember saying, "I'm mad at you too." And I walked out of his room and I closed the door and I walked into the kitchen and I was really distraught because I didn't want to argue with my son. But, sometimes you get preteens and there's a lot of hormones going on. And, I'm kind of stubborn when I want to be. And I remember sitting there thinking, he's not wrong and I'm not wrong. We're both not wrong, but we're both not right. So therefore, how do we do this? I mean, this seems to be like our pattern of how we keep disappointing each other because I was disappointing him, he was disappointing me. How do we get past it, especially when you get to that point where the frustration and disappointment has grown so high that you don't know how to move forward? So I remember I walked back into his room and I said, "Honey, I'm going to, what I would like to do is I would like to ask if we can have a do over." And what I mean by the do over is that the argument that we've had to now is just done. It's just done. We're not going to talk about this argument again. We'll start again. We'll try and communicate better in the future. But it really is important to me that we can have a do over, which means I'm sorry. We're both saying I'm sorry. We're not saying I'm wrong or you're right, but we're saying I'm sorry that we're arguing, or I'm sorry there was disappointment, or I'm sorry there were hurt feelings. And in that apology, that do over, we get a fresh start. And that's what I asked of my team as well. And that's what I think that they're asking of me as well. And that's that we have a fresh start and that we communicate better moving forward. And in our lives, personal and professional, that sense of trust is really built on our ability to step back and see our role in every situation, when we're right, when we're wrong, or when we have to be able to acknowledge that maybe both can be right and wrong, and we have to find a new way forward together. That's what's motivating me this week. I hope you have a fantastic week ahead.